don't know why she's sleeping like this. Like, that has to be a really weird neck position like that. Well, you know, whatever. She just being a dog over here. You should not be scared of my mom's pit bulls. You need to be scared of this thing right here. Welcome back. I'm Lexi and this is Ellie. Ellie's a baby. She likes to sit like a baby. And Shelby is staring at me. Well, Shelby, you can be in the video too, but you have to come here. And she rolled over and started licking her belly. This is what your sister says about it. But we are here because we have finished our full book. I actually started 2 different books for this, but it was whatever I finished first was going to be the winner. I read The Inmate by Freida McFadden. This was my first Freida McFadden, and I thought I had it figured out. I kinda did, like that was definitely what they were going for, but then there was a twist and I got it wrong, man. I have 4.5 stars, because the book left me feeling, what the fuck at the end. And that's all, like, I really want from a thriller book. I really want to be taken by surprise. I want to be completely caught off guard with what's happened. That's my goal for everything. But the other one I started for this was The Sorority Murder by Allison Brennan. And I have like a little under 2 hours left of that. It's going really well. Like, I'm really intrigued. Like, it seems like it's wrapping up, but something else is going to happen because there's like no way it's just going to wrap up it. Like, we still have 2 hours of the audio. Like, something else, some other shit's going to go down, and I know it. But this will be a sightseeing book. I don't really pick what prompt yet. You know, we'll figure that out later. Like, that's a later me problem. I also did read another book for sightseeing today. I read a graphic novel, which we'll talk about whenever I finally get caught up with the current prompts. Because last night, as I was reading my soul book here, which I could have finished this book way earlier, but I didn't feel like reading this morning. And then by the time I was like feeling reading mood start, my mom and I had plans because some little girls went to the spa. They did not like the spa. You and your friends, the Pitties, went to the spa, and my mom and I went shopping, which reminds me I left my shopping in the trunk. It's okay. It's nothing like that's going to be ruined. I bought some jeans shorts today because, like, I was looking at my clothes and, like, I really don't own jean shorts. Granted, this year, back in like January, February, was the first time I bought jeans since 2019. Because I pretty much just live in like sweatpants or scrubs. And then we went over to Kroger because my mom needed some groceries at Kroger. And then we went over to Gabe's, which if you don't know what Gabe's is similar to like TJ Maxx, where there's some defect in the clothing that, like, I don't know what the fuck it is, but looks fine to me. So we bought my niece some new clothes because she needed some summer clothes. You know, she's hitting that 2T size, and she needed some new summer clothes. So we picked up some stuff for my niece, and then we went over to Walmart to get more different groceries because my mom can't just shop at one place. See, I'm like lazy as hell most of the time. I won't go to multiple places unless I know it's a lot cheaper somewhere else. So like a lot of times I may go over to Rulers, which Rulers is basically like Aldi, but it's Kroger. And I'll pick up like eggs and like milk and stuff there, just because I know it's cheaper than me going to Meijer's, because I prefer Meijer's produce section than any other store. I don't know why she's sleeping like this. It has to be a really weird neck position like that. Well, you know, whatever. She just being a dog over here. We completely got off track. Oh my god. We went to Starbucks and I tried the, like, Summer's Dream something, I think it was called. I don't know. It was on the board and it had, like, coconut milk and, like, boba in it. It was decent. I don't think I'm the biggest fan of coconut milk, to be completely honest. So it kind of off-put me there a little bit. Like, it wasn't bad. I think I would just, like, I don't know, I think I'd prefer it as a lemonade, which I think is an option. Yeah, sure, whatever. I'm that person when I go to the store, when I go to the counter. I'm like, sure, whatever is fine, you know. And then we had to pick up the pitties, and they asked if they could just keep the pitties because they love them so much. And I just want to say, it is so heartwarming that nobody there was like scared of our pit bulls, because pit bulls get such a bad rap. But really, they are so sweet. Ours are like, they're just wiggle butts. That's what we call them. We call them our little wiggle butts, because like they get so excited and their butt starts to wiggle all over the place, and like they're the sweetest things. But you know, it's all about how the dog is raised. I'm not gonna tell you right now, you should not be scared of my mom's pit bulls. You need to be scared of this thing right here. This little ankle biter will bite your ankles. If she doesn't like you, she's gonna let you know. The pitties are just gonna hide, man. But it was just so heartwarming that nobody was scared of the pitties, and that the girls in the back, because like when I schedule their grooming appointments, they ask if I like prefer a special sort of like stylist, and I don't care because I don't know any of you girls. Whoever will do the job, you know, and do it good. That's all I want. They were like fighting over who got to groom the pitties. Sorry, Eleanor. They like the pitties. They think you're cute, but they were fighting over who got to groom the pitties, and like people even in like, because they went to PetSmart, like even the people in the store were like petting the pitties, and like that's all they want. They just want to be loved. It was just so heartwarming today, and you know, I kind of needed that. The reason I came on here, which was to tell you guys about the prompt that dropped last night, was Bangkok, Thailand, and it's a color prompt. And I just so happen to have a book on my Kindle here that I need to finish because I started it earlier this month, and by started, I mean I read 4 chapters and I haven't touched since. And it's quite a chonker. It's Heir of Sun and Moon by Janessa Wren. So that's what we're going to be picking up next. I charged this in the car on my way home and it got to 74%, which is like kind of good. Although it has a weird screen on it. So yeah. Oh yeah. Here, I'm on chapter 5. So I'm 9% in it. Since I have 8 hours left of the book, that's what we're going to be focusing on for the rest of tonight after I finish scanning my receipts from today, because I got to get my fetch points. And then I'm not going to be into work until 12:30 tomorrow. So in the morning, I think I'm going to like probably do some laundries that I just keep putting off, like washing the throws on the couch here. And I'm going to make like a breakfast casserole for lunch / eat this week. So I want to get all of that prepared in the morning here. Like I probably won't get up at my normal time. I'll probably just go back to bed. I may actually just turn off the first alarm and just get up when my second alarm usually goes off. And we'll go from there. I feel like that'll be a nice little chill morning for me. Eleanor's staring over there like I'm gonna feed her Shelby's food. That's Shelby's dinners. Yeah. There's Shelby over there. It's Tuesday night, and I think did I talk to you guys? I think I talked to you guys on Sunday. I feel like the answer was I talked to you guys on Sunday. Well, we have finished book 19. I mean, technically it's a little bit more than that, but you know, I finished book 19. I finished my Bangkok book. I was going to read Heir of Sun and Moon, which I am like 40% into. And, you know, it's 25th, and I'm like, I am not going to finish this book before the next prompt drop. I just know I am not going to read 60% of this book before the next prompt drop. I'm going to continue it. Don't worry about that. You know, it is not going to happen, okay? So, I need to pick something else. I just also have, I know I mentioned I've been reading The Sorority Murder. There are actually 5 colors on this book cover. So, you know, there's like a yellow, a white, a black, a purpley brown, and orange. So, that's 5 colors right there. So, we're counting it. I'm counting it. It's there. Also gets my teen genre bonus. And that's it. I really like this. I gave it 4.5 stars. It was very well written. It's the first book by this author I've read. And it seems like it's going to be a series with one of our characters like going on. And I also like the mixed media element to it. So our main character, Lucas Vega, is doing a podcast. Which podcast ones are some of my favorite ones to do. And he is trying to investigate the murder of his writing tutor from freshman year, Candace Swain. They know she died. They found her body in the lake. And he thinks it's somehow connected to his ex-girlfriend from high school's older sister, who also went missing from the same college 3 years prior to him meeting Candace. And he wanted to know what happened to Adele. And he knew that Candace and Adele were friends. So he is trying to figure out what happened to them. And you know what? our boy does figure it out. He does solve the murders. Because, you know what, they were both murdered, you know. Realistically, I feel like you had to know that Adele was murdered because she ain't gonna go missing for 6 years and not contact anyone whatsoever, you know. Like, if y'all didn't find her in 6 years, just found her car, seriously burned, stayed away, like, I feel like that was obvious. But, you know, we have made leaps and bounds in this case. And you know what? He did it. You know what? Good for him. He did this for his, like, senior capstone. Like, wow, you be putting all the effort in. I did not put the effort in my senior capstone. Man, I wrote a paper on antimicrobial resistance and how doctors are overprescribing antibiotics because you really don't need antibiotics unless it's a bacterial infection. But every time that people think they're sick, they need an antibiotic, which is completely untrue because most infections are actually viral. But digression. That was like a 20-page. Well, actually, I think the minimum was 20 pages, and I think I wrote like 25 to 30 pages on this. Oops. Anyways, that's a digression. So then we're going to get into my sightseeing books. So my first sightseeing book we're going to talk about, we on book 20 now, I think, was Heartstopper Volume 5. I had not read the newest volume yet, and I love it. Although, can I just say that I'm so sad that Heartstopper ends at Volume 6? Like, that's not enough. We need to continue this forever. Why can't we continue it forever? Lore Olympus is still going as far as I know. I have all 6 volumes, but I know there's a Volume 7 that's going to come out. So, like, why can't we just continue the story forever and ever and ever? Why not? I could totally read, like, let's read about them going to college next. Why we gotta stop it? But I wholly enjoyed this book. 5 stars. Book 21, if my math is corrected, if I'm good at the math, questionable whether I'm good at math, you know, I'm blanking on the title. Oh, Lavender House. I read this because it was Leandra's host babe, but also it seemed that everybody was reading it for a few legs ago, and I was like, wow, I should probably read this. And I was like, I bet it's not even available at my library because nothing is ever available at my library. Like, everything's always on hold. And it was available, and before I knew it, I clicked borrow. So I had to. And look, it gets all the bonuses. And it was pretty good. I gave that one 4 stars. 4 stars for that one. I could see me continuing that, like, kind of cozy mystery vibes. I really did enjoy that one. I have everything submitted. I was like, I have to get everything submitted before the next prom drops because I need to submit these sightseeing books. So my plans for the rest of the night involve me going back to reading Heir of Sun and Moon for a bit. But I also think I want to read maybe a volume or 2 of Lore Olympus tonight for some sightseeing. So I may sit down and do that here first. I think it's been a minute since I've updated you guys. It's now Saturday, and I don't think I've updated you guys since Tuesday night. So Wednesday morning, the new prompt dropped, which was for Auckland. I am still reading my book. I picked up The Third Grave by Lisa Jackson because there's like flood water or river water. I don't really know which one, to be completely honest. There's something on there, though. Our main character has already fallen into the river, and they also found a dead body in the same river a little ways out. So, you know, that's where we are. It's going well. It's my first Lisa Jackson. If I really just sit down and read, I can read a good solid, like, 100 pages in an hour. And I have about 25% left of the book. Like I said, it's going well. It took a little bit to build up to it. And the girls at work stared at me weird when I was reading it at work on Thursday. Because they were like, oh, not much has happened yet. Because it was like 116 pages. And I'm like, not much has happened yet. Granted, it was 116 pages in. Like, but I'm saying not much has happened yet. I'm like, they just like found 2 dead bodies so far. And there's like a grave for a 3rd one, but they can't find the 3rd one. And our main character also fell into the river. And somebody else died trying to rescue her from the river. But, like, not much has happened. And they're like, what is wrong with you? Not much has happened. Yeah, not much has happened, you know, though. She's trying to investigate, and it gives me more cozy mystery vibes than, like, a traditional mystery book. Like, I'm getting more cozy vibes from it, which would make sense, because I think this is, like, book 4 in the series. Granted, yeah, I started with that one. I didn't know it was a series, but it also seems that I don't need to read the other books to know what's happening. You know, it's like one of those series. Like, we're reintroduced to our characters, and like I don't feel like I needed to read books 1 through 3 to understand what was happening. So that was great, because yeah, I didn't know it was a series. I got this book at a used book sale, and yeah, no, it didn't say anything about being a series, but apparently, according to the Storygraph, it is in fact a series. I'm like,
Well, it must be one of those series where, like I said, you don't need to read all the books to know what's happening. And then I have still been doing some sightseeing. My goal, I have a plan, you guys. I have a plan. I've read Lore Olympus 2, 3, and 4. I reread them so that I can submit those all for sightseeing books. And here's my grand plan. My grand plan is that I was going to read a good chunk of the book of The Third Grave last night, which I have done. Like I said, I only have 25%. I think another hour and I can get it done, okay? And at my current estimation, I'll be able to finish it before 2:30 p.m. That will then give me 24 hours to finish Heir of Sun and Moon for our LA prom before the Heir of Sun and Moon live show tomorrow at 2:30. So I have this grand plan in my head. And in the meantime, we're also going to read Lore Olympus Volume 5. And I wasn't sure originally if I had read this one before or not. Now that I finished Volume 4, I'm like, oh, I definitely did read Volume 5 when it came out. Like, I bought it, but I wasn't sure if I read it or not, because I know what happens after the end of Volume 4. So I'm like, okay, so I definitely know what happens in Volume 5. I know I haven't read Volume 6, though, because it's been sitting on my shelf since I bought it. So I know that's going to be the goal. And then after the live show tomorrow, I'll still have plenty of time then to read Lore Olympus Volume 6 for sightseeing. And I can just submit all of it. I'll have both my last 2 plane stops. Well, not plane stops. I think I'm going to fly to one of them. I haven't decided yet which one I'm going to use the plane for. Either the Auckland or the LA prom. I'm kind of leaning toward LA at this point, because I think that book is a little bit bigger. And the other one, I'll just take the standard route. I know I have enough GRC, because I've mapped it. I've done the maths. It's gonna go great. But then I'll be able to submit after, and if I get Heir of Sun and Moon submitted by 2:30 tomorrow, I'll finish it then, so I can submit it, and then I can submit all of these sightseeing books. And then after that, I'm gonna be done, guys. I'm gonna be done with reading for Tar, because I'm not gonna start another short book or anything. I feel like I would make great progress. I've made like phenomenal progress this year so far alone. With this month, like, I have never read this much in a month ever, because normally I average between like 10 and 12. A good month I might get 15. You guys, we're a lot higher than that at this point, so we're doing pretty good at this point. And we'll do our count as I start submitting the other books, but I feel like we did good. I'm on my way to my mom's. It's like storming all day, but somebody needs to watch Baby Sam. And I went to McDonald's, and I just got a little one, because I'm trying to come back on how much sugar I consume, and, a small one would do that. This is the new Oreo frappe. Pretty good. I also got myself a breakfast sandwich, because I'm hungry and it's like 10 a.m.
Absolutely detest people who feel the need to set off fucking fireworks every single night. It is not the 4th of July, people. Not at all. Also, I don't find fireworks very patriotic to begin with. That sound right there can be very triggering to veterans' PTSD. Like, I know you're in a war zone, you heard lots of bombs going off, and guns, so it's like, recreate the sound for a holiday for you. Like, does that make any fucking sense? Use some... what am I talking about? You don't have common sense. That's asking a lot. I know. This is all digression. Eleanor is currently hiding under the bed because she doesn't like fireworks. But I have an update. So, book 22 I read, which was The Third Grave by Lisa Jackson. This was my first Lisa Jackson, and I'm gonna get 4 stars. Not, it was pretty good, pretty decent, and stuff did happen, and I kind of was predicting the plot twist. Like, I could tell where it was going, but, still had an enjoyable time with it, so, there we go. And that was for my Auckland prompt. And then, the prompt for Los Angeles dropped Saturday, Friday, I don't remember. The Los Angeles prompt dropped. Okay, guys? And for that one, I finished up Heir of Sun and Moon by Jeanette Serpent. And I'm gonna get 4.5. I really loved it, not to mention it's a beautiful cover, and I'm going to track down where I can buy a copy of this, because I just need it for my shelf. I really did enjoy that. It does have animal death in it, which I found very sad. I'm like, I don't really know if that was necessary. I'm going to completely admit that's why I got deducted half star. That's a little bit of a spoiler. I don't feel like it was necessary to do that to the dog. Wolf, you know, it's a wolf. I mean, it's basically a dog, though, right? I didn't feel that was necessary, and it made me very sad. But I really loved the ending. I kind of did predict one of the twists in it. Like I felt like it was kind of obvious, but there. So that was book 23 for the month. So then we're gonna get into all my other books. Let's see. I forget what I've even told you guys about so far. We're gonna do this a little bit of rapid fire. Book 24 was Lord Olympus Volume 1, 5 stars. I really like Greek retelling, so no surprise that book 25 was Lord Olympus Volume 2. Book 26 was Lord Olympus Volume 3, and book 27 was Lord Olympus Volume 4. We're going to switch it up here a little bit. I went and read a different book at this point. At this point, we're going to be mixing it up a little bit. For book 28, I read Mr. Loewenstein Presents Failure, 2 stars. I kind of just picked this up for a graphic novel because at this point, I have a goal if you couldn't figure it out what it was. We're going to get to it. Book 29 was Lord Olympus Volume 5, which I read today here. Really great. Loved it again. And I couldn't remember before if I had read this one or not. But as soon as I got to the end of Volume 4, I was like, oh, I've definitely read Volume 5 because I know what happens next. That brings us to the goal that I've secretly been planning. Like, I've been planning to do it a different month, but it kind of just inadvertently happened this month. So we're going to roll with it, guys. Like, this was, like, a goal I really wanted to accomplish. This will make book 30 for the month of June. I really want to do a 30 and 38 at some point, and, like, I'm inadvertently doing it. However, it is now 10 o'clock on June 30th, and I haven't read this one yet. So, it's Sunday night. You know, Tar's going to end in a little bit, 2 hours, and I need to read this book yet, but I also need to, like, shower and get stuff ready for work tomorrow. So, we're going to do this a little bit of rapid fire. I'm going to go through my nighttime routine really quick. If I can get it all done in 30 minutes, these books are averaging between an hour and an hour and a half for me to read, which is kind of why I'm in my bed, so that, like, as soon as I finish, I can submit it and go to bed promptly. That's the goal. So, guys, I did it. I finished book 30 here for the month. So, as predicted by myself, you know, this was 5 stars. I actually really enjoyed this one, and I really like the ending the best. I'm not gonna lie. I'm excited for Volume 7 to come out later this year, and it is now midnight, so I should probably really go to bed. So I gotta be up in 6 hours.